Hey there, I'm Tucker, this is D&D Daily, and today we're continuing our Creative Combat series by talking about chase-style combats. This style of combat is really great because it's actually two styles of combat in one. Though they are both very similar, they are also very different. The first is when the party has to chase someone down. They're chasing somebody who's trying to run away, and the second is somebody is chasing the party and the party is running away. In both circumstances, there are two things you need. First, you need a boss that is either running away or chasing the party, and second is a bunch of minions or some environmental hazard that is slowing down the party in either their chase or their running away. This type of encounter is a great way to lead up to a normal fight, a normal combat, or it can be at the conclusion of one. Maybe when the fight is just getting done, the enemy runs away. Or if the party's running away, maybe they start chasing them. Imagine the party is chasing a big bad and he's trying to get back to his lair and they're trying to make sure that he doesn't get back there. They're trying to fight him outside of his lair. Successful or not, this will probably turn into a regular combat at some point. The same happens when the party is running away from somebody and gets cornered. Eventually, it is going to lead to a combat. Or another example is that maybe the party is about to kill the big bad and he starts running right before they finish him off. And while they're chasing him, his minions try everything they can to slow the party down. Maybe the party is able to catch up to him and trigger regular combat, and maybe not. Maybe he just gets away. The way I do these chase type combats or these chase type encounters in my game is not just based off of movement speed, because some characters can move really fast and some are not. So I like to do it based off of how you use your skills to gain an advantage in this chase. For example, in a chase, you maybe give your party 3 party-wide skill checks of how they're going to use their skills to give them an advantage. The party can think of ways that they want to use their abilities and their skill checks to get this advantage. It could be using spells, it could be using things like acrobatics, athletics, or perception to just get that advantage. So some things you could think of is maybe throwing ball bearings to slow down the people behind you, or you can create ice down a set of stairs so that you can slide down rather than having to run down. Or maybe you put some acid down behind you so that enemies have to stop and try and avoid it rather than just running straight through it. When you as a DM are doing these 3 intervals, make your party roll these party-wide checks, and if they get over a certain number or under a certain number on average, then they succeed or fail. If they succeed, they move 1 space closer to the enemy, and if they fail, they move 1 space further away, and the enemy wins. And I would just do best 2 out of 3 of whichever side wins gets the advantage in that upcoming fight, or they just get to escape from that situation. The best example I can think to show this is actually from Critical Role Campaign 3, Episode 16. The party achieved their goal. They had this combat where they captured an enemy, but were still threatened by a much more dangerous foe that was chasing them down. So they ran away from this combat with their target in tow, trying to avoid this big bad. As they fled, they were repeatedly attacked by minions of the big bad. It wasn't anything that was going to kill them, but just something to make them use their action or use something to distract them. The whole time it is assumed that this big bad is on their tail and is catching up to them. The party eventually escaped, but they did have to use some of these skill checks as Matt would say, these things jump at you in the dark and they have to say, I attack, or I use a spell, or I use this skill to do X. And by using those things, it kind of triggered oh crap, this is going to use up my time. If I fail, then that thing catches up to us. If I succeed, then we get closer to escaping. And I think it's better than just using that movement speed again. The party did eventually escape from the situation, though the way that they did it made the exit from the fight feel much more chaotic and filled with tension rather than just running away using your movement speed. Anyways, this has been my idea about chase style combats. This is my perspective on them. What do you think about it though? Is there a way that I'm doing it that could be better? Is there something that you've done in the past that was better than what I did? Or do you just not really like chases altogether? I know that they're fairly hard to run from a DM's perspective, but I think they are a really great way to fill your session with tension. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. I'm Tucker, this is D&D Daily. We release new videos every single day all about D&D, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you tomorrow.